All right, I don't know how many viewers on my channel remember this project. I did a all TTL based computer, something that I always wanted to do, and I got it into a state where it was sort of working, and I kind of was pretty much happy with it, but it still had a glitch in it that I just couldn't quite figure out. And so I thought, you know, I've got this great tool now, so let me apply the new tool to the old problem, right? And so this is the TTL generator. I have a playlist. If you go onto my site and look at the playlist, you'll see this project, which is lots and lots of videos. It's a complete 8-bit CPUs, a lot like the Ben Eater type stuff, but 8 bits and a little bit fancier. So the very first thing I do is generate a 2-phase clock. Okay, the whole thing operates off of a 2-phase clock, and there's a 555, and then there's a GAL that generates the 2-phase clock, and I was always pretty happy with that. I mean, that was the very first thing I did. And so if you look at it with an oscilloscope, you say, yeah, that looks just fine. There's a clock. That looks just fine. So let's go ahead and hook up the logic analyzer. Now, people were confused about this cable. I said it was $300, but there's lots of circuitry inside this thing. I'm feeling it right now. This thing gets quite warm. There's a whole bunch, well, there's actually 16 comparators in here. So when you pass a threshold, it'll fire, and you can program the threshold to different values and stuff, so it's quite clever. So you can program the thresholds and it'll fire just like a logic gate. So it's like having a trigger on every single edge, and you're not just looking at waveforms, you're looking at trigger events. And so this is a pretty fancy probe. So I have it hooked up so that the upper 8 bits are the bus, and then the lower 8 bits are available to take a look at various things, okay? So let's go back up to this, and let me turn on the logic analyzer. And you can see this was our original analog signal, but here's our digital signal. And you can notice something funny on that red trace there. It has a glitch in it, right? If I zoom in a little bit farther, you see this glitch. If I can zoom way in on it, this glitch is starting to appear. And if I zoom even further, you can see that the analog signal glitched there. Now, we didn't see that when we were looking at the analog signal. Yeah, it wasn't there. And in fact, I don't know if my old scope would have seen it, because I'm at 10 nanoseconds per division, so it's a 10 nanosecond wide glitch. So I believe that could be why my circuit didn't work, is I had this one little weird glitch in it. And I don't know where it's coming from. I think it has to do with the programming of the GAL. I might have to take a look at how I actually program that part and see if there's some condition that creates that little glitch there, and if I can get rid of it. So yeah, if we zoom way out back to where it's normally operating, and we didn't have this logic analyzer, we would never know there was a pulse right in there. In fact, how would we even know to go look for it? How would we know to trigger on it? Because this is the edges that we can trigger on when we have an analog signal, but how do we go way in there at 10 nanoseconds to division and find that little pulse there? You just can't. It's just an impossible task. So that's where logic analyzers and mixed signal scopes come in really, really handy. The logic analyzer saw something that the analog scope did not, or it's a digital oscilloscope, but the analog trace did not, right? And so yeah, it pointed me to this weird glitch here. And let me hook up. Let's see, where was my other probe? Let me hook up the other clock phase. So you can see that it's kind of even dirtier there. So that one glitch there. Let me turn off this analog here. All right, and let's zoom back out, and we can see that we're looking at this. That's not what I wanted to look at. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, it got kind of dirty, and there was some strange glitches going on. And let's see, maybe it was this over here. Is this the one I was looking at? Yeah, that's kind of the same signal. It comes from a different place, but it's oops, I didn't want to do that one. I wanted to do this one. Yeah, it's coming from a strange place. So yeah, there it is, jittering too. So yeah, something really weird is going on there, and it has to do with that. What is that? Where'd that come from? There is definitely a glitch there somewhere. So yeah, let me dig into it. But I maybe will be able to get this thing running better. That would be great.